Welcome to Breakthrough Weekly. If you're returning, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found your way here. This podcast is where we take real experiences and pack what's happening beneath the surface, especially when you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or keep putting things off even though you know what to do. Before we begin, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Now let's get into today's conversation. If you ever have found yourself procrastinating, this is for you. Because sometimes procrastination isn't laziness, it isn't the lack of discipline either. It's a quiet internal conflict between who you've been, who you're becoming, and what your mind still believes as safe. And this isn't just something I see in clients, this is something I personally have experienced too. For almost a month, I kept putting off making a simple but important phone call. A hospital bill had come in after a medical emergency, and because I wasn't working full time at the moment, paying it all at once wasn't realistic. I wasn't calling to avoid paying it, I was calling to request a payment plan, something responsible and reasonable. And yet, I kept pushing it off. Days passed, then weeks. I kept telling myself, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. If you've ever done this, you know how frustrating that feels. You know the task makes sense. You know avoiding it isn't really helping, and you still don't do it. I finally made myself to make the call. Something unexpected happened. Every time the representative placed me on hold, I broke down crying. Not once, but multiple times. I couldn't understand why something so simple was affecting me so deeply. So instead of judging myself, I asked a question. While I was placed on hold, I asked myself, why is this affecting me so much? I stayed quiet, I regulated my breathing, and I let my subconscious to respond. The first message that surfaced was clear. You've always been the one who pays everything on time. You have never needed a payment plan. And underneath that was a belief I had worked on before, but one that resurfaced under pressure. If you can't pay it all at once, you're not good enough. That belief wasn't new. It was familiar programming trying to reclaim its place. But because I recognized it, I didn't accept it as my truth. Awareness kept me from validating a belief that no longer defines me. And this is an important part of real subconscious work. Healing doesn't always mean a belief disappears forever. It means that when it resurfaces, you recognize it, you name it, and prevent it from taking over. My identity had always been rooted in strength, independence, responsibility, and self-sufficiency. I took pride in paying things off immediately, no matter what the circumstance was. That identity felt true. It felt safe. It felt aligned. But my current reality required me to do something that didn't match who I believed I was. And when identity and reality collide, the mind interprets it as danger. That's when procrastination appeared. Not to sabotage, but to protect who it thinks you must be. Because when your identity feels threatened, your subconscious pulls you backward, not because the task is hard, because it's completing it would require you to become someone your old beliefs don't yet recognize. That tension between who you were and who you're becoming is what delays you. Procrastination isn't random, it's identity protection. Later on, once the emotions settled, I reframed the situation. Instead of asking for a payment plan means I can't handle it, I shifted to asking for a payment plan allows me to financially be strategic, wise, safe, and supportive while I can get back on my feet. That one shift changed everything. I wasn't weak, I was adapting. I wasn't failing, I was being smart. I wasn't losing who I was expanding who I could be. And this is what many people miss about procrastination. It's rarely about the task. It's about the meaning your mind has attached to the task. The reason I was procrastinating wasn't because I didn't want to ask for help. It was because taking that action challenged my identity. When your mind believes an action threatens the version of you it knows, it will delay, distract, or shut down, even if the action benefits you. That's why people procrastinate on things like applying for the promotion, launching their own business, returning the phone call, publishing content, attending an appointment, asking for support. Your mind works to protect who you think you are, not who you want to become. Awareness is the beginning, not the end. Once you understand why you're avoiding something, you can update the belief, create safety in the nervous system, and act from alignment instead of fear. That's what happened to me. Once I changed the meaning, the emotional charge was dissolved. And this matters because if you don't understand why you're stuck, you'll keep interpreting procrastination as a personal flaw instead of a subconscious response. You'll keep fighting yourself instead of supporting yourself. Procrastination isn't a flaw in your discipline. It's a signal from your subconscious that something in you isn't fully aligned with the action you say you want to take. What usually happens next is predictable. You shame yourself for not doing enough. You compare your progress to others. You blame timing, circumstance, or external factors. Even though you logically know what would move you forward, and you still don't do it. Not because you're incapable, but because action threatens a belief you still hold about yourself. The turning point isn't to push harder, it's to get curious and ask, why do I keep procrastinating on this one thing? Not to judge, not to diagnose, but to understand. Because your mind will always answer the question you give it. Ask, what's wrong with me? And you'll get shame. Ask, why can't I get it together? And you'll get doubt. Ask, why am I avoiding this action I say I want? And you unlock truth. Once you understand the reason behind this hesitation, identity, fear, grief, pressure, and old wiring, you'll gain access, not failure. Awareness doesn't instantly erase the pattern, but it gives you the power to change it, to update the meaning, and to rewire the belief behind the behavior. Because once you can name what's happening inside you, you stop fighting yourself and start leading yourself. That's when momentum returns, not from pressure, not from perfection, but from alignment, safety, and self-trust. This is the work we do here in Breakthrough Weekly. If you know there's something bigger you're meant to do, but it feels like an invisible force keeps holding you back, this is exactly what I help people uncover and rewire. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. I'm Monica Palayo, and I'll see you next time.